my 22 subscribers on YouTube. Hi. Okay, today's video is really cool. Okay, so I had a dream recently, again, of an angel. And I haven't had one in years and years and years and years and years. The first time I had a dream about an angel was, I think, back in 2010, 2011. And I have another YouTube channel, and my profile picture on my YouTube channel is, I think it used to be, my name used to be I Am One Who Believes, but now my profile picture says Hello Applehead, and it's in orange. So I think it's on that YouTube channel. It was like back in 2010, 2011. So, that was whenever I had the dream, and I was like, it was like the most awesome dream ever. Like, it was so good. I remember I felt so good in the dream and everything, and I was like so happy, and I felt so good. And okay, so I just recently bought some new books, like within the last couple of years or something. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna start off with this book. Okay, this book is a book that was my grandma and grandpa Paxton's book. And I've been reading it. As you can see, there's bookmarks in it and stuff. But I hadn't got to this part until like last week. I think last week, like, I just felt like picking these books up, and I bought like as many books as I could find at Barnes and Noble about angels, because I wanted to study angels and stuff. So anyway, so since I had another dream about it, I just picked up this book and I just started reading it. And I hadn't got to this part. I'm gonna reiterate that if I didn't. On page 144, there's a section, and it says Angels and the Ascension of Jesus. Okay, so it says, okay. As Mary looked into the tomb, she saw two angels in white sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet where the body of Jesus had lain. John 20:11-12. Then one of the angels who was sitting outside the tomb proclaimed the greatest message the world has ever heard. He is not here, but is risen. Luke 24:6. Those few words changed the history of the universe. Darkness and despair died. Hope and anticipation were born in the hearts of men. Okay, angels and the ascension of Jesus. We find the story of the ascension of Jesus in Acts 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Jesus had been accompanied to earth by an angelic host. I believe that the word cloud suggests that angels had come to escort him back to the right hand of God the Father. The watching disciples were sad and despondent. Tears filled their eyes. But again, two angels looking like men and dressed in white raiment appeared and said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Jesus which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Acts 1:11. Thus the angels escorted the resurrected Lord of glory back to be seated at the Father's right hand. Then even the morning stars ascribed honor, glory, and praise to him as the Son of the living God. On the other hand, some angels remained behind to assure those early disciples that they would always be near, ready to help God's people throughout the ages to come until Christ returns in person with the angelic host. Okay, the dream that I had back in 2011, there was an angel that was just a little taller than me, and he had black hair, and he was wearing white. I didn't have this book. My grandpa Paxton was still alive at that time. I didn't know. I didn't know. So how could, that dream had to have been from God. It had to have been. I've had my doubts until I read this book. Okay, so, and I found out that, okay, this is gonna sound, I have no idea what you're gonna think about this, but, okay, I've tried to find somebody who looks like these angels that I've dreamt about. I was like, I'm gonna find somebody that looks like you. Well, I have no idea if anybody has seen the TV show The Flash, but Grant Gustin is the closest that I can find to, except he has brown hair and the angel had black hair. But I was watching it, and then all of a sudden it hit me that he looks almost exactly, except for like the shape of his face and everything is exactly like the angel, except he has brown hair and the angel had black hair. Okay, I just wanted to say that. So, okay, so these books I just bought recently. And then I had another dream. I'm going to get to that one later. Okay, these are some recent books that I bought within the last couple of years. Okay. And then I had the dream. Okay, so this one's Angels in My Hair. The True Story of a Modern Day Irish Mystic. Lorna Byrne? Or Byron? I have no idea. Sorry, I don't want to butcher her name. Byrne. You can see that. Okay, so the dream I had recently, the angel, I was in a building and there were people in there and they were like doing like scientific stuff or something. It's what it seemed like. There was like a whole bunch of machines and stuff, and they were just like doing stuff. Well, I was like, what are you doing? And then I like walked up into this certain area, and then all of a sudden there was this green light that came down from somewhere. I have no idea where, but there were all these green lights like coming down like this. And then there was something in the middle. There was like these little squares or something, or rectangles. They were either squares or rectangles or something, like in white, and they were like coming up through the middle of it. And I'm like, I'm like looking around. I'm like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, there appears this guy in a white robe, just like I saw back in 2010, 2011. And but I remember I first, for some reason, was like, I saw his feet first, and he was like barefoot, and then I saw his white robe, and he was really, 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 really tall. I remember he was really, really tall, and I'm like, like, look it up. Like, he's so tall. Okay, and he had black hair, and it was longer. It was like in a it was different than the guys that I had the dream about in 2010, 2011. It was longer, and it was like swoofed, and it was like sticking out on the sides and stuff, like a little, like on this side especially, and it was like longer. Okay, well, I was reading this book, and I opened it up, and I haven't read this book. I bought it, but I hadn't read it yet. So, okay, I have this bookmark. Let me try to find it. Yeah, okay, here it is. Okay, it's page 227. And, okay, she says, well, I think she says, I had thought that the angel just wanted me to watch the two boys pushing their enormous snowball. I turned around, and there he was. Owen's angel had revealed himself to me. He was extremely tall. His eyes were a stunning emerald green, and he radiated a smile. It was as if he was saying to me, look at what you nearly missed by turning your back on me, Lorna. He was dressed in a suit of armor that was very fine and looked like silver, but then a moment later it changed color into what looked like the color of a fiery flame, in stark contrast with the white snow all around. His feet seemed to be embedded in the snow and glowed under it, yet I know his feet weren't actually touching the ground or even the snow. Just looking at Owen's guardian angel made me feel very happy. Okay, so has anybody seen? I'm just trying to give you guys a visual of, like, you know, what these angels looked like in, like, human form. Has anybody seen the TV show The Vampire Diaries? Well, I went back, and the guy that plays Damon on The Vampire Diaries, my daughter, Faith Hope Aileen, she loves that show, and, like, I'm into it too now. And he looks like Damon. Damon isn't that tall, but he has the hair just like Damon, and his facial features and everything, except he doesn't have green eyes. I'm like, oh, I wish he had green eyes. But I had a dream. I remember I had a dream that there was this girl or something that had, like, green eyes, and then there was, like, this movie, and she had green eyes. I can't remember which movie it was, but that was before I ever bought this book. So yeah, I was like, oh my god. I was like, he looks exactly. He looked like, his facial features and everything looked exactly like, and he talked to me, and he told me that And then I remember there was this woman that was standing next to me, and he bit down, and he told me that my name was like cultivar or something like that. Like, I couldn't hear him like very well. I heard him, but like I couldn't. It was like, and then okay, so whenever I woke up, I remembered, I was like, well, it says somewhere in the Bible that God will change your name or something, or he'll give you a new name. He'll give you a new name. And I was like, have I been given a new name? I have no idea what that means or anything, because I've tried to look it up, and the only thing I can find that's even closest to it is Jesus culture, like culture or something. So there's like a Jesus culture on YouTube. So I have no idea what that is. So yeah, I just thought that was really cool. So okay, so then there's another one. I have another one, and this one is Imagine Heaven. John Burke. Okay. And this one talks about angels being in white, I think. Okay, if I remember right. Okay, it says, let's see, where should I start? Let's see. I'll just start at the paragraph. We know when evil, pain, or suffering hurt us, but we do not know how often God orchestrates his angels to care for us. Angels are God's servants sent to help people. Are they real beings or just mystical? Well, just imagine God's unlimited creativity. There seems to be no end to it. Billions of stars clustered in billions of galaxies, and on just one planet orbiting one star. He's created over 7 million species of creatures, in parentheses, as best scientists can estimate. We've only cataloged 12 million. God has also created spiritual creatures who do not live confined to time and space as we do. One species we call angels. Angel literally means messenger. Angels are referred to 196 times in Scripture. Humans do not become angels, meaning we don't go through a species change, but we can be messengers. As you've probably noticed, NDErs often report seeing an angels. Marv Bestman noticed, my angels looked like regular guys. Except regular guys usually don't wear white robes. Both looked in their mid-40s and stood about 5'8" to 5'10". One had longish brown hair, and the other one had shorter hair. Neither one of them had wings. In parentheses, though he later saw winged creatures. They can appear much like human beings, or they can shine with a radiant light. Less brilliant than the radiance of God, but still quite impressive. Most do not have wings, though some creatures do. Ezekiel 1. So yeah, isn't that cool? That is so cool. I just think after all these years, you know, that I remember the angel, he just smiled at me and he said, and he put a crown on my head, and it was, I remember I had diamonds on it, and he said, here, I'm going to give you something better. He took a crown off of my head and put it on the little girl that was sitting on the ground, and she had blonde hair. She was a little kid, and then he said, "Here, I'm gonna give you something better." And he put a crown on my head, and then he smiled at me. It was like, I just remember having the best feeling. I just felt so good. So anyway, okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you